Alright, here we go again with the Gorilla Tag Goober Sauce. Let me see, what's on the list for today? Yes. Gorilla Tag updates too much. Well, is that a bad thing? I think yeah. I think it's a horrible thing. You wanna know why? Because if you look at Gorilla Tag, let's go 2 or 3 years ago. You would get a new map every year. We would get one map a year. Alright, first, everybody knows first it was mountains, success. It was great. Then it was clouds. Clouds was not received well at all. Mountains was amazing. And then ever since clouds flopped, Gorilla Tag decided it would be a smart idea to pump out as many maps as possible for no reason. Just look at today. In the last 3 updates, we got ranked, hide and seek, morph, hide and prop hunt, prop hunt, yes. And of course, you can't forget about Gorilla Corp and them adding the elevators. And I'm almost 100% sure that when the elevators finally open and they introduce the whole new movement or whatever they're adding, I don't keep up with that no more. But when they add that, we can assume another Gorilla Corp expansion, which is gonna make the Gorilla Corp mode, or the like cave diving mode, absolutely humongous. Or the updates are gonna add a lot to the map, or just add some new functionality or something, I don't know. Now with Gorilla Tag updating so much, and now instead of it being every once in a while we'll get a good bit of cosmetics and then some map changes, now we're getting like 6 or 7 cosmetics, and we're getting like entire maps. With this we get a bunch of custom maps, so there's no point in adding all these extra maps. We're getting a bunch of maps and huge map changes instead of actual like just useless cosmetics for people to spend money on, which personally I'm not even gonna buy any cosmetics anymore just because it's so inflated. Just as a side note, Gorilla Tag's inflation is absolutely horrid. It took me over a month to save up for a half-ass cosmetic that I don't even wear anymore. Now, do I think Gorilla Tag should update less or not at all? Of course not, that'd be ridiculous. I think they should keep their schedule, just add less, and focus on more community stuff, like actually using their voting system that they've put in the game and their like question of the week to actually improve the game, instead of just making it dumb questions or random trivia. Along with this, I feel like cutting back on the adding a new game mode every once in a while. Along with this, I feel like Gorilla Tag should probably limit themselves to around 1 good big map a year, and then maybe a few small maps here and there. And I would keep small maps to be like 2 a year, like ranked. You could have had ranked and prop hunt, because those are small maps. But when they added prop hunt, they should have added it to every map and made it a global Gorilla Tag game mode. Basically meaning you can play it in every map, wherever you want, instead of being stuck in the haunted house, which honestly isn't that fun after a while. So having new maps to switch to would improve this game mode 1,000 times. Along with this, you should be able to play ranked in privates. This is just something I personally believe, because playing in the ranked map would still be fun, considering there's no extra props, there's no little update stuff, and it's just bare forest. Of course, if you're in a private, you wouldn't be able to like actually earn any XP and stuff, but that's just my idea. Hopefully if somebody sees this and they're from another Axiom, add it. Now, like I was saying before I went off on that little side rant, Gorilla Tag limiting their map releases to be 1 good big map a year, plus 1 game mode a year that is universal between all the maps, and maybe 2 smaller side maps for like testing to see what people like maybe 2 of those a year. And of course, as I already said, 1 good game mode that works in all the maps per year. If you made it this far in the video, consider subscribing, and when I say consider subscribing, I mean you better subscribe. Continuing, I feel like cosmetics shouldn't be overdone, like adding these huge $30 packs, which is kind of crazy. What Gorilla Tag could do to fix their cosmetic and inflation problem is make the cosmetics price about what they were priced around 2021 to 2022. Because during that time, you could get around 1 cosmetic to maybe even 2 cosmetics per update, depending on what you could save. Now, is there any actual way to fix how good the cosmetics are? No. One idea for fixing the blandness or like plainness of some of the cosmetics would be doing community art contests to draw new cosmetics. This would engage the community more, basically bring out a whole other community into Gorilla Tag. And maybe Gorilla Tag could even have a featured art board, kind of like Animal Company does, somewhere in the stump. Now for the inflation, like I was saying, just bring it back to 2021 to 2022. I don't have the exact prices of the cosmetics locked in my head right now, so here's a little table or like a chart or something. Wow. Alright, my final complaint is there are too many updates. This basically just takes everything I just said, crams it into one, and says stop updating so much. Like, instead of having every 2 weeks you add a new map, like a solid 3 cosmetics, because you have to update so much, and they're pushing so much time into the maps. Since Gorilla Tag updates so much, it kind of feels like you join the game 1 week, 2 weeks later you reopen the game, and it's completely different. It's basically a whole different game. Now, is this video 100% serious? Not really. I mean, I doubt they're actually going to do anything about these minor issues. I'll put those in quotation marks. I think they're just going to keep pushing more and more and more out to everybody until eventually it just becomes way too much and they have to start like bombing the map because there's so much extra stuff. So them adding all these small maps everywhere and all these cool game modes is just going to divide people more. Because if you only have... Now think about it this way. If there's only 2 maps, so people can only play in 2 different maps, and you have 20,000 people playing. This is pretty simple math. Let's say 10,000 people were in canyons, and the other 10,000 people were in forest. Alright? And most likely everyone's gonna be on the same page on what the best map is, or it's gonna have a pretty straight divide. Now think of it like this. Gorilla Tag adds 30 different maps. Alright? You have 20,000 people online. And 30 different maps. You did not hear me use a calculator at all. Alright. So you have 20,000 people and 30 different maps you can play in. You know how many people are going to be in each map? 666. Why is it 666? Alright, now imagine this. You have 20,000 people on the game, on Gorilla Tag, and you have 13 different maps. That means only 1,538 people would hypothetically be in each map. Probably Forest would have some more because, you know, the more popular maps are going to have more people. But that means if you try to get into one of the small maps that are secluded and nobody really goes to, you're going to have a really hard time finding a good connection to a lobby. And you're probably just going to straight up make your own and be alone. And for Gorilla Tag, being alone in a lobby is not what you want, considering it's a multiplayer social game where you're supposed to be talking with people, playing with people. So not having people is kind of a bad thing, which is why we need less maps instead of more maps. But once you add a map, taking it away is gonna make people mad. So having OG Caves taken away made people mad, so they had to add it back. So they should stop adding new maps and keep to just adding tons of cosmetics instead of a bunch of maps. Just add like tons and tons and tons of cosmetics per update. Now this video has been a while, so you know, nothing against Gorilla Tag. Gorilla Tag's great. Love Gorilla Tag. I assume I'm going to get a lot of comments. I'll respond to as many cosmetics as I feel that cosmetics. I'm so tired right now. I'll respond to as many comments as I feel the need to. If I see the same question twice, I'll probably just copy and paste the answer. And with all that out of the way, have a great rest of your day. Oh my god, I had to say that so many times.